Hello everybody, so I'm here again to present especially with DepEd ranking interview questions for teacher applicants. Let us begin with the first question that is generally asked. It's the tell me about yourself. So you present in here the brief introduction about yourself, the education if you had your MA or your PhD, as well as your experiences with teaching that could be within the private or other institutions, maybe online teaching like that. And if you could, you can also add a bit of your personality, but do not make sure that it does not take too much of the time. Okay. For the question number 2, why did you decide to become a teacher? So these are your reasons. You could probably focus also with the personal reason. And of course, professionally, you want to grow in this field. It has been your passion. Maybe that's a cliche, but it's really the truth, right? And of course, we cannot deny that it's more of a stable job if we could enter the DepEd, right? But anyways, concentrate. It's maybe your passion. You really wanted to do this job. Okay. Question number 3, what is your reason for applying? As mentioned earlier, the same. It's maybe for your career growth or for stableness, your job, like that. And if you have any ideas, you could add, but generally make sure that, well, it's consistent. Your answers are consistent and it's realistic. Like, don't put too much drama like that. Just be true to yourself. Be true to the interviewer. But of course, give confidence in yourself when you are answering. Uh, the question number 4, what is the most difficult or challenging thing you have encountered and what did you do to resolve it? So it's asking you to be more specific with your example. You give details. As I mentioned, be realistic. Maybe when you dealt with students or with your colleagues, but most specifically, it's better if you could give an example with dealing with students, maybe with their attitude, personalities, like that. And of course, you try to give the detail on how you solved it because they're going to look through the steps or the process that you have done. Because given that in DepEd we have in every situation, we have rules to follow. So try to give the ways that you have done to solve it. Say, for example, maybe did you reach out to the child, you went to the guidance counselor, things like that. Okay. Question number 5, what is your teaching philosophy? Well, this one, it should be concentrated to students and your teacher and teacher's role, your role as a person. As a teacher, actually. Make sure that it's related with teaching because the question itself is teaching philosophy, okay? Um, I think there's a lot of teachers who try to imitate, or actually, they also copy from the internet, but make sure also that you put some content on that. Maybe you try to relate yourself or give an experience with that. Why do you choose that philosophy, okay? Question number 6. There are 3 things to become a good teacher: attitude, knowledge, and skills. If you were to rank them being 1 to the highest and 3 the lowest, how would you rank them and why? You're going to choose from attitude, knowledge, and skills. Well, probably everyone has their own answers in here, but most probably the tip that could be given to you is, of course, it's your personal choice, but when you're trying to answer, the consistency is very important and the confidence in answering. So remember, you're going to be choosing from attitude, knowledge, and skills. Okay. For question number 7, what is an efficient and effective teacher? You're going to be giving a definition on this question, definition by yourself. It should be a precise interpretation. Okay. And well, you can check on some, I think there's a lot of guide answers on the internet, but try as much as possible to understand this in your own way. Do not just tell the definition from the book, but also your own understanding with it so that you can relate yourself. Question number 8. What qualities in you made you choose teaching as a profession? All right, we have many reasons, we have many cliche answers, but we should be genuine with our answer. Okay, the qualities. Okay, all right, so how about for this one, question number 9? Explain to me what are the key responsibilities of a teacher? Yep, responsibilities. So responsibilities should focus also with the classroom, the learning environment, with the students, also to the school. Well, we have here some example like love of learning, the curiosity, discipline, teamwork, independence, communication. These are some of the most common responsibilities a teacher should concentrate on. But of course, if you have your own, you can try to add them or you can change this one if you have some better ideas for yourself. But these are actually generally tested for most interviews from other teachers. Okay. For question number 10, tell me how would you deal with a child who persistently misbehave in the classroom? This is like similar with the other question earlier. So this, as I said, they have rules that you need to follow, right? So always say, I will be following the protocol. Well, if you are even confident of yourself, you can give the details of what you should follow. Like I will approach the student, I will approach a guidance counselor, and then eventually talk to their parents like that. But always remember the key word is protocol, okay? For question 11, are you flexible as a teacher? Well, generally they will be asking this because as a teacher, there is a lot of responsibilities and we have a lot of works to do. So give your precise answer with this. Of course, we are going to be saying yes, right? You can also try to base it with your experience before. I've experienced as, I mean, I have been a teacher before in a private institution, and I remember myself doing a lot of work, a lot of paperworks, and much more. I mostly have my overtime. So what I did is to be more flexible with that, and gladly or happily, I was able to do my responsibilities. So just say yes in here. Yes with, of course, the follow-up answer, not just yes or no. Okay. For question number 12, how would you deal with an angry parent? The same with the earlier situation with a child, follow protocol. Okay. Always remember protocol is the most important thing. Do not try to deal it with your own knowledge that, oh, this is the best thing. You should always follow the protocol, especially for DepEd. You have rules or policies that you need to follow. So be very careful about this. Question number 13, how do you handle classroom discipline? Okay, so state at the beginning of the class, establish disciplinary rules. Generally, for most teachers, they would say, well, at the beginning of the class, I'm going to establish disciplinary rules. Because with this, you're gonna, at the first meeting, you're generally going to establish the like authority, right? That I am a teacher, you follow me, or something like that. Okay. First meeting. Question number 4, what is your approach towards interaction with parents? Yep. Always remember with our classes professional education before, we make them a part of the process of learning. I will involve them in the process of learning of the children. If I need to ask their opinions, that's why we have the meetings, the general meetings with the parents, because we try to involve them. They have the right to know. They have the right to know their children's growth, progress, weaknesses, and strengths. And it's the teacher's responsibility. It's my responsibility to inform the parents. It's my responsibility to make the parents part of the children's learning. Okay. Question number 15, how will you integrate the use of technology in your classroom? So IMs are very important. So how are you going to answer this? We have different kinds of IMs, right? That could be printed ones, it could be we're using the advanced technology like PowerPoint presentations. But generally, it also depends if if you're applying for the primary or the high school. Make sure that your answer is related to what grade are you applying for. Okay. Mm, like games. I think those are very popular ones, like games, but how are you going to use the IM? How are you going to introduce that to your students? Okay. So try to reflect on your experiences before, during maybe your practice teaching and your experiences. Okay. Question number 16. What is the best way to drive enthusiasm and participation amongst students? Well, we have the keywords that you could use: equality, considering different learning styles, fun activities. Always remember that every student must be involved in the class. They should be given different activities. There should be consideration of the different learning styles. And most importantly, fun activities that give them also the learning. Okay? So you can check these 3 key points that you could use. Well, we have question number 17. What personality traits do teachers need to have? You know yourself and you should know the characteristics that you should say, but these are the very common ones for most teachers: patience, flexibility, creativeness. So you can try to pinpoint 3 and then try to define why patience is very important, why flexibility is important, the same thing with the other characteristics or personality traits. All right. Oh, and by the way, with this one, be careful. Maybe you would be mentioning a lot of personality traits that you're going to define everything. That will eventually take your time. So just choose on maybe the top 3, the top 4. That's okay already. Okay. Question number 18. How will you prepare your classroom for your first day? So remember, first day. Normally, you're going to welcome the students. Now, you're going to give them warm welcome. And earlier, the same thing, if you have some rules, you already established them at the first meeting. Because as we mentioned, that's the time you're going to be building the authority as a teacher, right? Okay. Warm atmosphere, welcome the students, establish your rules or any disciplinary considerations. Okay. Question number 19, tell me, is this work not extremely challenging? So, well, to be honest, for some teachers, they say yes, it's going to be challenging, but we always have a but, right? So we show passion and eagerness that you accept the challenge. Definitely, you're going to say the reasons, like, it's challenging, but why would you still commit yourself to that? Is it because of salary? Is it because your passion? So be honest with it. Be honest in a way that you're not just concentrating with the money or the salary, okay? All right. Question number 20. What are your strengths as a teacher? Okay, so we have in here the emphasis on your teaching capabilities, showcase your skills, may that be technical, social, and the like. Especially nowadays, by the way, if you're very good with technology, with the media, it's a very big plus points. So as much as possible, you try to immerse yourself into different kinds of trainings for like medias, maybe PowerPoint, Microsoft, and the like. So there's a lot of things that you could immerse yourself or you watch YouTube videos. These are very helpful. But generally, like talk about the personality trait, the flexibility that you have, the creativeness, the skills with the media, with other maybe you're also good with some technical, what do you call this, like technical vocational courses like that. Okay, or if you have some certificates about that. All right. So let's try to summarize the questions that you would be that they're going to be asking you. Introduction. First one is introduction. Oh, sorry, introduction. And tell me about yourself. That's the same. Sorry about that. What is your reason for applying? What is the most difficult thing or challenge you have encountered? And what did you do to resolve it? What is your teaching philosophy? There are three things you choose from attitude, knowledge, and skills. What is the most important thing? What is an efficient and effective teacher? What qualities in you made you choose teaching as a profession? Explain me what are the key responsibilities of a teacher. Tell me how would you deal with a child who persistently misbehave in the classroom. Are you flexible as a teacher? How would you deal with an angry parent? How do you handle classroom discipline? What is your approach towards interaction with parents? How will you integrate the use of technology in your classroom? What is the best way to drive enthusiasm and participation among students? What personality traits do teachers need to have? How will you prepare your classroom for your first day? Tell me, is not this work extremely challenging? What are your strengths as a teacher? Yes. All right, so those are some of the questions or the possible questions that can be asked to you during the interview. And I hope you've familiarized yourself with some of the questions, and I hope that you could prepare on them. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've liked this video. So please like, comment, and subscribe for upcoming videos. Please support this channel for us to grow more, that I could share more helpful information for us teachers. Thank you so much and good luck on your interview. Wish you all the best. God bless us.